Okay, so again, we have the solo cup in canvas that we're drawing, right? We're gonna make it be almost take about this much of the page. So not the whole thing, but a decent amount, right? And you need to make sure your paper is vertical and not sideways, just because we'll be able to fit more when it's vertically like this, right? So we'll start with the top portion of it, and we're gonna make an oval. Again, I'm drawing dark or darker so that you all can see it, but I want you to draw a little lighter. Try not to do that chicken scratch that I know some of you are a little used to, right? Chicken scratch just means that you're making 30 to 40 different little lines to make one solid line, right? So you know how mine is a little lopsided. It's not as good as the image. So I'm not going to erase just yet. Okay, I'm going to clean up my curves. So the bottom should curve a little bit more. So remember, I don't erase anything until I've redrawn the line that I want, and then I erase the one I don't want. Okay. Please let me know if I'm going too fast or if I need to slow down. All right, and then I'm gonna fix, if you notice the sides, this side's not bad, this side needs some work. So I'm gonna go ahead and just fix this a little bit and smooth it out. Okay. The drawing can be important or is important when it comes to prior to the painting. I always have the drawing out first, just to make sure my proportions are right before I start the painting process. All right. So these two lines, this one down here and the top one, this is basically just the that's not the whole edge of the top of the cup. If you notice at the top of the cup, the edge is double. So down here, there's another one. So it doubles up. It comes down just a little bit and it just mimics the top or the top of the right above this line. The only thing we're not doing in here is shading, right? That's what the paint is going to be for. The only thing we're drawing are the lines that make up the cup. Inside of the cup, there are ridges, right? The top of the cup up here also has some thickness, and if you notice in the picture, it just disappears, right? So I'm going to make the thickness up here show up a little bit more, and then it meets up to here. Okay, so I have the thickness here, and then it just disappears. That's only disappears because of the lighting. Where's the lighting coming from on the cup, by the way? Correct. And how do you know, Rosie, that it's coming on the right, from the right? Perfect. Yes, the shadow's on the left. The brighter part of the cup is on the right-hand side. All right. Okay, so we have the thickness of the rim on the top and the thickness on the bottom right here. Now, if you notice that there's ridges that are coming out, they come out through here. So the bottom edge here, and it goes this way, and it also kind of disappears. And I'm just going to end it there. All right. And then we have another one that comes out, curves. It's not a straight line, it curves. It goes like this. Okay. And then the last one, same thing, comes out at the bottom and it curves. And these are just the ridges on the inside of the cup itself. Again, I'm stopping it there because in the picture, you notice it just turns solid white and it just disappears. It fades out. I shouldn't say disappear, it fades out. Now, within each one of these lines, do you guys notice that there's a highlight on them? So I'm just going to make a little shape like that. A little shape here. I'm not filling it in. This is just to tell me that these are going to be highlights. So when you're drawing prior to your painting, you're giving yourself information so that when you paint, you're like, oh, this spot is where there's a highlight. This is where it gets darker, right? It's almost like you're drawing a map for when you start to paint, all right? Okay, that's pretty good for now for the top and the inside of the cup. Let's go ahead and move towards the body. Now, if you notice the body, I like to start by creating the general shape. So if you look at the general shape of our cup, it's not straight down. It goes at a slight curve and tapers down at the bottom because the bottom or the base of our cup is more narrow than the top. So your cup should not be straight down like this. If you notice on the corners or on the sides, it jumps in a little bit and there's steps. I'm gonna go ahead and not draw the steps just yet. I'm gonna start by drawing a little in from the bottom edge right here. It froze. I'm going to make it longer than I need to for now, and then later on I will erase what if I think it needs to get shorter, okay? And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, it doesn't start at the corner edge here. You jump in a little bit. James, yes, we're going to use paint, but not today. We're going to draw it first, and then we're going to use paint next class, hopefully if we finish this in time. Okay, Jared, it's okay. Again, it's just tapering off a little bit. All right. Now, right now, when you look at mine, it needs to be a little wider. Okay. Again, I'm not erasing just yet. I'm going to make it wider first. So I ended up making it too narrow down here. So I'm going to make it a little wider, similar to the line I drew before. Same thing on the other side. And then I'm going to erase the lines I don't want, which is the inside ones. All right, this proportion looks a little better than the one before. Okay. And I'm going to end it down here. I'm just going to curve. Like this. And don't worry, we're going to make all the little divots that go in here. Okay, everyone good still? Can you guys see it okay? Yeah? Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the side steps in the cup. All right, I'll start from, where do you guys want to start? The top ridges or the bottom ridges? Top. Okay, we'll start from the top. So the top here, these lines might change a little bit, okay? Just so you know the sides. All right, so we start from the top, right? Remember, the side of the cup doesn't start over here and doesn't start way out here. It just jumps in a little bit, right? Okay, so we have a ridge that goes, or a line that goes here and it curves. So we're going to make the lines first, and then we'll erase the sections over here. Okay, there's a line right here, pretty noticeable. And then there's another one, very faint, right below it, below the lip of the cup. Very faint. I'm making it a little lighter. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to erase right below that line, just a bit. Okay. So I'm just going to erase just a little bit right there. And then, do you guys want me to zoom in? Okay. Let's try this. There. Sorry, I keep switching to video. All right. So I erased a little section here and a little section here because we're going to now just start just a little bit, not a lot. Curves and dips down like that. Curves and dips down. Okay, so there's just a little bit of a ledge there on both sides. Okay, so dropping it. Then we're going to make another curve. Again, it should follow the same curve as the one right above it. You notice that I'm fixing mine. Okay. So it has 1, 2 so far, and it on the picture it has 3. The third one right below this one is going to be a little further down than the first 2. Okay. So same thing. I'm gonna erase on both sides a little bit, a section. And we're gonna start the other line. So again, you cut in a little bit and you drop it down. Cut in a little bit on the other side and drop it down. This one though, remember we're gonna drop it down a little further than the first 2. And then I'm gonna curve in. So hopefully you're noticing how many lines we're adding. Again, this is like a map, so that when we start painting, it's a little easier than you trying to figure it all out as you're painting, right? We're doing all the pre-work. All right, I'm gonna erase this. All right, and so now it's just gonna go down. I'm gonna have it meet the bottom line here a little bit more. Actually, I feel like I went too far in on this right side. There. You can always fix this, okay, because we're using pencil. Okay, now I might change or fix the shape of the top of the cup, but not right now. Okay. Okay, now we have another divot down towards the bottom, right in here. I'm going to make the line first. Again, it should be curved. And if you notice, underneath it, it also dips in a little bit. So I'm going to erase a little section underneath it, right? And then draw a little line for the ledge there, right? Just a little bit, not a lot. And then drop it down. Yeah, I'm for sure going to fix the top. The other thing I want you guys to think about when you're drawing prior to your painting, do not overthink the drawing. Like if you're spending 2 days on the drawing of the painting, that's way too long. Okay? Because keep in mind, you still need to paint it. So if you're spending more than half the time just drawing it, then you need to don't worry about the little things and get to them when it's time to paint. Okay? All right. So we have that, and then there's one last line at the base of our cup. Okay. One last line. And again, it dips in. I'm pretty happy with the body of the cup right now. I'm not so happy with the top. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is just go back, look at my lines, and see if I need to fix any of them that are curving. They're not curving enough, or it's not an even curve. And I'm going back and fixing those. Okay. All right. This opening is way too tall compared to the picture. So either A, I need to bring up the bottom or bring down the top. What do you think will be easier to fix? The bottom or the top? Absolutely right. Because if I fix the bottom first, I'm going to have to move all these lines up. But if I just fix the top, that's fine. I can easily shift these just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and reshape this so that the top line looks more like this. Erase it and see if I like it better. It's getting there. Still needs to be down more. I feel like it's going to be closer to the bottom of this line here. And this is the toughest part with cups, by the way. Getting this opening to look believable and accurate compared to the rest of the cup. There's still some more things to do after we draw the outline of our cup, by the way. Okay, what do you guys think about this? Is this a little more accurate? You hate everything but mine. Oh, about yours? It's okay, Jair. I know you're a little bit of a perfectionist. Don't worry. This is practice. I want you guys to mess up here rather than when we start the main project, the pop bar project with the popsicle. I'd rather you not mess up there, mess up here. Okay, this is why we're doing it. All right. Okay. This is a little better. I like this better. So I have 1, 2, and in the picture there's 3 lines. I'm going to, let's see, erase the top one. The bottom one's fine. I'm going to put them just closer together. There. And they all kind of end at the same spot. There we go. All looks better, right? Again, it doesn't have to be perfect at this point, right? And this is just like a map that we're making for ourselves. Okay, we're missing shadows, right? So as Rosie stated earlier, the shadow for this one is coming from the right hand, or the light's coming from the right hand side. So the shadow is going to be on the base, on the bottom. Keep in mind, it's sitting on a table. Notice how it's kind of dark down here on the picture. So I'm just going to make the outline of that shadow. So it hugs the base of the cup really thin, and then it shoots out over here. I'm just going to draw the outline of my shadow. Okay. Keep in mind the outline on the picture is very fuzzy when it comes out to the sides. And it goes, if you notice the picture, the shadow is below this line. So it's going to be in here. Okay, so here's my shadow. I'm going to make it a little darker so that you all can see it on your screen. All right. Okay, last thing that we're going to draw on here is going to be, actually no, we'll end it here because the other values, we're going to draw shapes inside of the cup so that when we paint, we know what goes where and how dark to go. Fix this a little bit. Oh, I still don't like the opening as much. Okay, everyone good here? I'm going to stop the recording.